This is Running Free with JH. Running stride. How do you run? Now, I've been told my running stride is very, very peculiar. And it is very different than most people. Now, I'm going to describe how I run and how it's different from everybody else out there. There is probably other people in this world that do run the way I do. It's very hard to find. Okay. Now, I could be wrong. I just want to put that up front. I could be wrong. But I think the majority of people when they run, you have your chest out, you're standing up straight, or maybe a little lean forward, whatever it is, however's comfortable for you, and you start running forward. Your legs are gonna come up, like you're gonna lift your legs up at your knee, bend your knee's gonna bend your legs together, and you're gonna put the foot in front of you. That's kind of the basic, right? So you're gonna and one foot in front of the other. Now your foot placement and everything comes together, and how many times your foot comes down, the placement of it on the ground. I think that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my stride. I am not a quadricep dominant runner. What I mean by that is when I run, the dominant muscle that has all the power is my hamstring. Now, when you sit on the ground and you're gonna do a hamstring stretch, or you're gonna do a groin stretch, you sit Indian style, cross-legged, and you put your feet together and you lean forward, it stretches the groin. If you're gonna do a hamstring stretch, you put one leg out, one leg in, and you lean forward to that leg that's out. You're stretching the hamstrings. That's the hamstring stretch. That's the muscle I'm talking about. The muscle on the back side of my body that's connected to my butt. That's the muscle that is dominant. So when I run, I don't lift my leg up. I swing my leg under. It sounds so weird when you're hearing about it, and some of you probably now are trying to picture what I'm talking about. It is very different. So how do I describe this? I'm gonna do it as I describe it, so that way I get it out there. All right. So like I said, a normal person will walk forward, and if I'm standing straight, my feet together, and I take one step forward, doesn't matter which leg it is, I'll bend at the knee, my leg, and put my foot forward. And so as I put my foot down, I can feel my quad tighten, you know, and that's why you're gonna be quad dominant. You're gonna drive with your legs. You ever notice when you run uphill, some people will start digging. They'll dig into the hill, and they'll into the hill. Some people, and they'll dig, and what they'll do is they'll drive they pump their hands up, so they won't be pushing their hands down as they run up the hill. They'll mostly be pumping up. They'll be like they'll pump their fists up usually to their face in that direction to get up the hill. And when their legs are driving down as it comes up, it's pushing off of the ground. So you're using your quad to push up the hill. That's kind of how I see it. How I do it is I'm swinging my leg out. So now let's take the same feet together. Instead of lifting my leg up, swing the leg down. So I'm gonna go forward. I'm actually doing this now. I'm being conscious of it, and yeah, it's even when I walk, I do the same thing. I actually I swing my leg underneath me, and I put my foot down. I don't walk in front. I swing, which is probably why for a long time I was actually a heel striker because it makes sense if I swing my leg under, but I'm not. I'm actually a midsection in the ball of my feet where midsection of my foot actually is where I had to, midsection of my foot is where I plant my feet down on the ground. I had to train myself that way because I wasn't always that way. I was actually a heel striker, and the reason I knew that a lot was because if you look at my shoes after months of running in it, the heel section it'd be gone. It's like all that was worn away. So I learned very quickly that I was a heel striker. I had to reteach myself to be a midsection of the foot striker. Anyway, so that's kind of basically what I've noticed about myself as I swing. I use that, which is very different. I had somebody before recently tell me I run funny or run wrong. And yes, it does look funny when you look at it from the outside in. Definitely looks funny, but it's not wrong. Your mechanics are your mechanics. Yes, there are some things you do. Like I tell people all the time, when you run, do not run on two lines when you're running straight forward, because then you're going to be doing a shuffle side to side. Can you imagine having a foot or 2 feet? 2 feet's exaggerating, but having a foot between each foot when you step. So one foot steps down, like say your right foot steps down, and then you put your other foot down left in front of it. But instead of going in front, you're ahead of the other foot, and now you're a foot or 12 inches to the left or right of it. So now you can put a ruler and just keep a ruler into it. That's 2 feet, right? So you're stepping a foot, one foot in front of the other, and one foot is ahead of the other one. But if you put them side by side, they would be at 12 inches of space in between, and it's as you walk. I always tell people, you want to get better mechanic at running, you want to think of the catwalk. Like when you have runway models, the girls or guys, when they walk down the runway, they put heel toe, one foot in front of the other. They probably don't actually put heel toe together. They might have some space in between each from the foot to the heel, but they have it in front. That's how their hips shake. That's how their body shake. It's how their body moves. I have people do that as they run to streamline your momentum. And so that way you're not going side to side to side as you're running. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to mechanics. You can tighten mechanics up. Not say mechanic tighten up. But when it comes to your body mechanics and how your body moves, it's different. Because some people have big hips, some people have small hips, some people have big arms, little arms. You have to move with what you got, right? So what I have a dominant hamstring muscle as I run, and I have to use it. And I found, because I actually did an experiment where for a few months I changed the way I ran. I went to the quad dominant running, and I started having knee problems. And I was like, ow, ow. It was so painful. I couldn't believe how much pain I had a few months later. And I'm like, the only thing I'm doing differently is my running mechanics. Ever since I went back to the old way of doing the natural way of running, because I didn't teach myself to run with my hamstrings. I didn't. I ran naturally because they said run, so I just picked my legs up and I went. Somehow I naturally taught myself to walk. When you teach yourself to walk, when you walk, I was never taught to do the other. Whichever way I was walking was the way people just let me do it. So my foot goes underneath. And if you ever get a chance to see me one day, and you just watch how I walk normally, don't tell me, just walk how I you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm also pigeon-toed, which doesn't help. My natural walk is my left foot pigeon toes in. It's a natural foot. And I have really no kneecaps or anything really. It's kind of weird the way my knees look and everything. That's another story. But anyway, you need to do you. That's the main point of this whole episode. There are things about you that are just going to be unique to you. If how your body structure is, from your skin to your bones, your tendons to your toes, all that part of the runner, your hands, everything. Some people are going to have problems with their feet because they're grown differently. Like I said, I'm pigeon-toed. I have one foot that points in and the other would. Is it wrong? No, that's what it is, and I'm naturally that way. Now, if it's causing issues, I have to compensate, teach my body to not do that. Just like people who are stutterers or people who have an accent and they train themselves to get rid of their accent. Same concept here. But there's some things that you can't do anything about. If your foot has big toes and they're crooked, you might not be able to do anything about it. It's like your teeth. You can fix your teeth, but there's some things you can't fix. You just pull them out, right? And there's other things that you can fix. All I'm saying is whatever works for you, you should do it. If there's things that you can do to fix up and make your things better, I say bravo, go and do that. Help it out. If you want to streamline something, if you need to tighten up, if you're saying your arms are flailing all about when you run, and someone gives a suggestion, hey, what if you put your arms down, keep them down low, put close to your body, see what that does to your run. That's not changing who you are or what your body is. It's just changing a way of doing things. That way it makes it easier for you. Just like if you're swimming in a pool, you have a certain stroke technique that coaches will teach you. And next thing you know, you'll notice you're running faster. Just like with the breathing technique. If I show you how to breathe differently, a lot of people say, breathe through your nose, out your mouth. That could be okay if you're going easy. You start going sprints, you can't get enough oxygen in through your nose. I always tell people, breathe through your mouth the whole time when you're running. Do not breathe through your nose. There's not enough time. You need to get more air. So that's all I'm saying here. I don't have really much else to say on this topic. I wasn't sure how to approach it because I've had people over the years and recently tell me like I do things wrong, and I'm like, you don't know me. I'm with me, my whole self, and you don't know much about me. You've not studied me or gone through. Like if you sat down with me for like a couple days or a week or something, and you watched everything. Okay, I've seen everything. I've analyzed it all, and this is where I think you could do better. That'd be one thing. But just look at me once and go, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. I mean, it depends. It all depends on somebody. But if you want help, then it's okay for someone to give it to you. Like I will never go up to somebody and say, you doing this, this, and that. I can notice things, but I'm not gonna be rude and go up to you and tell you, you know what, you should change all these things about you. Because what if you don't want? What if you don't care? That's your prerogative. You should do what you feel is best for you. If you like the way you're doing things and don't care about the result, excuse me, if you like the result you're getting and don't care how you get there, it doesn't matter. If you want to change things up and you ask, because I can come up to you and tell you, I have some ideas. Would you like to hear some or not? If you don't, that's cool. And you go, no, no, fine, cool, and that'll be the end of it. But they say, yeah, give me. I would love some advice. Okay, cool, and I'll give you some stuff, and we'll talk about it. And at the end of it, you can either adopt it, or try it out, or just throw it by the wayside and say, I'm not interested. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with this. I wasn't sure where to go with it, but anyway, I need to get more serious with some of these podcasts, I think. Some of it I'm not sure what to talk about because I don't want to talk about some of the hardships of the past, but I thought maybe talking about something that was annoying me would help. So I hope you guys have a good day and take care. As always, you can always find me on Running Free with JH, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias, YouTube. You know, you get it all. Hope you have a good day, and also you can email me at runningfreewithjh@gmail.com.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.